Hey there, welcome to another Tuesday night watch talk with Bobby Legs and friends. And I have a couple friends joining me this evening. Clayton. We're doing two in a row here.
I
This is
know.
not Watch Soup, guys, with Wolfie. This is just a Tuesday night episode. Uh, what's going on,
I,
Clayton? How you
I
doing, man?
didn't have to do any research for this. It was easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, staying up. Other
Yeah,
than that, it's pretty easy. So yeah, this is good. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I think, I asked you to come on because of the topic that we're going to be discussing in a little bit and sort of like kind of like you did the same thing, but let's just we'll wait to get to that. What do you got on wrist this evening?
Well, I guess we can foreshadow, but yes, the watching question that I did it
Man,
for
Ooh,
the Moser
so
Endeavor
beautiful.
100 seconds, the funky blue. This watch never gets boring because it just looks different in every single
Mm,
room you go in with
huh,
every sort of lighting. And then
yeah,
there's no AR coating on the crystal, but I like that because
yeah,
it just I don't know, it's really neat. It's just when you go outside, you can see clouds and
yeah,
trees and
yeah.
everything with that blue background still of the dial. Yeah. So
So when you come home from work, is that the watch you put on?
right.
Or
Yep.
yeah,
It,
yeah,
it
yeah.
has been. I've had it about 3 weeks now, and I've worn it every single day. So
What does the wife think? Does she like it?
she likes it. Yeah. She
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
really like many of my watches, but it doesn't look like everything else I have, which
yeah,
is as I'm sure you guys hear from your wives too.
yeah,
Just all divers look the same.
yeah, yeah.
All watches kind of look the same, but she likes that one. So
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Wolfie, how are you? What's going
good,
on?
good, good.
Did you have a good day? Did you meet up with our
I meet
son,
up,
Dib?
yeah, with Mr. Dib.
Yeah. Yeah. How
He's
did that go?
good, good. Very nice afternoon.
Yeah. What'd you guys do?
And just had I had a cigar. Nobody else had, but a little drink, and I
Yeah.
think Dib had a beer. So,
Yeah.
and then we stopped by Karan a little, but
Oh,
not that long. Just look at some stuff. Not
yeah.
that much.
Yeah. Did
We'll go back tomorrow.
okay, so is it so today was just a little quick little visit and then
Yeah, I
tomorrow
I
more.
didn't know that he was already in town, he
Hmm.
kind of changed around plans, so
Yeah. What do you have on wrist this evening?
I'm wearing that CQ
Ooh,
nice.
Haran
yeah.
special. I try to
Yeah.
wear it when I go to see him to
Oh, that's nice of you.
hear hear some of the criticism.
Yeah. I like that watch. I'm wearing
So do we.
my Rolex Submariner on a crafter rubber B strap, rubber B strap.
Still on the rubber, huh? Still rocking
Yeah,
around the
yeah. I'm
rubber.
gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it I like it. I the rubber strap is quickly becoming my go-to, my favorite look. I go through phases. I'm sure at some point I'll put this back on the bracelet and just be fixated with just washes with bracelet. But right now, I kind of like that feel. The it's just lighter. It's easier. It's just way easier. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. The bracelet on the Submariner is awesome, and the clasp is great. Um, eh, just like it on the rubber right now.
Yeah, I get it.
Um, Hey, let's say hello to some of the people in the chat, and then we'll get into our topics this evening. Rob Mountain Standard Time, how you doing? Wearing his blue Pelagos tonight. Hey, Marcy's here. How you doing? Keith is here. How you doing, Keith? Hey, Chaz. Chaz is wearing his Paul side of the moon, which is the gray side of the moon. Speedmaster Time Hill is here. How you doing? Hey, Peter. What is going on? Marcy's saying, Freddie C. Open heart for me tonight. Hey everyone, how you doing? Says Amin. Um, Royal Regency is here. Keith, did I say hello to you? Not sure if I did, but hello again. Hi, Deech, what's up? How you doing? The intern. Hi everyone. This will be my last episode as my internship is ending. Was a blast, but I learned very, very little. Wow. That's because the intern put very, very little effort into being an intern, I must say. But I have a feeling he's going to be sticking around. He can't quit us. And besides, he can't. He only gets fired. That's the only way he can actually leave. So he's He's not going anywhere. Plus, he's got to if he's gonna leave, he's got to train the new intern. So we got to figure out who that's gonna be. Brownie's here. How you doing, Brownie? What's going on? Um, Andres, hey Andres, good to see you. Um, is here. James Duffy is here. How you doing? Caliber, how are ya? Az Clayton is here. How you doing, Clayton? BJ's here. What's going on? Uh, hey, up. I'm saying great panel. Amin, you can join whenever you want to if you'd like. Scott Tarlow is here. I've often thought about selling all my watches for an ADC 88. Michael B. Yo! What's going on, Michael? Ken Spirit checking in from Pittsburgh, as he does. Oh, Time Hill's wearing a day chest. Hey, Detroit Sparks here. How you doing? Good to see you. Justin R. strapped in as always. KR Joy is here. Paul is here. How you doing, Paul? Hey, AZ Clean wearing his new Choppic Antarctic on wrist
Nice.
tonight. Congratulations, my friend. Um, Kevin S. is saying he expects big things from that intern kid in the future. We'll see about that. Um, okay. And I think it looks like I caught up. That was pretty quick this evening. Hey, so I don't know if you guys have caught up. Joy B sneaking in there. Speedy Tuesday. Um, there was a video that came out. I think it came out either today or late yesterday. I think it was today. Bruce Williams video. And this is again, no, this is not a Watch Soup episode. Um, but this would have been a great topic for Watch Soup. But anyway, I needed a topic for this evening. I thought it was a great topic, and so we most of us who are in this hobby who consume content, watch content on YouTube, as one form or another at one point ran into Bruce Williams' videos. He's pretty prolific. He's got over 100,000 subs. He's been doing this for a while. And so some of us have known the history of Bruce and his collecting and his ever evolving collection. And so he got to a point recently where he, well, in that video he explained he traded all his watches but one, or got or sold whatever, uh, blew up the collection for a gold day date, a yellow gold day date, which he said was the watch that you've always wanted. You always wanted to add a gold piece, and that was it. Now, Bruce is. I feel like Bruce has done this before. He's gotten his grails and then sold them off to much dismay of us in the hobby. But it's his collection. It's his choice. He kept a Cartier Pasha, and now he has this watch. And I thought it was a really interesting, just not necessarily to dive into his video or figure out why he's doing what he's doing. That's maybe for a watch soup, but I thought it might be a good topic to talk about. And then I was talking to some friends, and I believe it was Chaz, and Chaz was had mentioned that Clayton pretty much did the same thing, Watchdog Clayton, recently. And I'm like, that's right. I mean, like, he pretty much did the same thing. And so, Clayton, you picked up that Moser that you showcased in the beginning of the episode. Break it down for us. What is it basically the same? Did you really blow up your collection? Or do you have like other watches, like 3 or 4 or 5 other watches? I mean, explain to us, give us a little bit of a background.
Yeah, I didn't do what Bruce did. He blew it up. I mean, he got rid of some killer watches. We're talking Hulk, Sky Dweller.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he really went all in. I didn't. I mean, I got rid of like 5 or 6 watches. I have a few. I still, but it's the watches we don't typically count, right? Maybe ones we were gifted, or like a G-Shock, or a Samurai I've had for 5 years. Like, are those really? We cheat, right? With those don't count. They're not in our like main collection. I didn't really buy those. I only have a few watches I've actually bought with my own money. So Moser's been a brand. I've seen Wolfgang and Sanjay and everybody talk about them for so long, and always been a brand I've been intrigued by. Jay, my contact at Topper, She Speaks Watch on Instagram. She's offered me a Pioneer Center Seconds before that she got brand new, but they're just a little too big. That 43 millimeter. I didn't want to blow up my collection for a watch that I knew was probably going to be too big for me, even though I love the red dial, especially, like, such a beautiful watch. And I noticed they had this Endeavor, on their pre-owned for a long time, like many of us do. We every Friday at noon
Mm-hmm.
Eastern, right? We go on there
Yep.
and we scour, and then there's pages and pages and pages of watches now. And sometimes I'll just scroll through them all to see, and a lot of times every Friday they'll do like drops. So
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that on there. So that watch retails for 25K, which is I'd never be able to, not in a million years, be able to buy that brand new, right? So it was on there. It's been on there for a while. It started at 19, yeah, 19,999, and then after the 10% discount, and it got down to close to 15. And then you ever see a watch, then you start doing the math, like, okay, I think I can make that work, and you start going through all the watches you could sell. And
Yeah.
there were a few I just wasn't wearing. And um I get to I think you're kind of like this, Bobby, where if you're not wearing something, you start to
Mm-hmm.
feel like it needs to go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, so there were a few watches like the Black Bay Bronze
Mm-hmm.
58, Black Bay 58. I hadn't been wearing the Santos. I was actually I like that watch, but I was actually feeling like it was a little too big for me recently. And then the GP casquette is awesome, but I wasn't really wearing that either. So I was like, it would be nice to have the Air King and the uh, Moser as my like two watches that I wear all the time. So I reached out. I traded her a couple. I sold a couple privately, and I was able to make it work. But yeah, it's something I kind of waited on for a long
Mm.
time till it got to somewhere where the math kind of made sense.
Yeah.
And I still have a couple. It was still scary to do that because
Yeah.
I liked all those watches. It wasn't that I disliked them. I just wasn't wearing them, and I'm sort of impulsive that way. Like I know Pete McConville classifies that sort of collector as like the wearer. If you're not wearing them, then you feel the
Yeah.
need to like get rid of them, and that's how I am, I think. So
Yeah.
that was it. It was scary, but I knew I was getting something really
Mm.
amazing in return. And to the people that bought those brand new, getting that watch for 15K is bad news, but for me, it's excellent news. So
Yeah. No.
I feel like
Absolutely.
getting 10K off of that watch, and it was like I said in the podcast, it was really in immaculate condition. Didn't really look like it had been worn. No scratches. The strap was still in phenomenal shape. So I feel like I kind of won that. You lose money on trades and everything, but I've had those watches for all of them for almost a year, which is not very long. But for me, it's kind of an eternity since I tend to go through watches. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thanks for that. And before we get to Wolfie, I mean, Wolfie doesn't really burn anything down, but I want to ask him. But first, I want to ask the chat while we're talking this evening. Let us know if you will burn down your collection for one watch. Not necessarily like an end game watch because Bruce did not is resetting basically, right? So he's still got some cash and he's still gonna build. He wants to build with meaningful pieces that are gonna stay for a really really long time, not for like a year or two or whatnot. Well, we'll see if that actually plays out for him. We'll see if he actually holds on to this day for as long as he thinks he's gonna hold on to it. I know I've thought I've had some watches that were forever watches and they weren't, so I get that. And he's done this before. So with certain pieces that he thought he was going to keep forever, and he ended up like trading out of them. But if you were going to burn it all down for one watch, and also to restart your collection, what would that watch be? Please put it in the chat. Let us know. Let us know your reasoning if you can. Um, James is saying I almost burned it down to fund a platinum VC for 6K, but someone else bought the watch while I was considering it.
Oh,
Wow, that's interesting. Justin saying he loves how Topper always displays the wrist
yes.
cheese, keeping it real over there, grundle and everything. It's full
Especially in
display.
like the Seiko silicone
Oh
straps, like the
yeah,
backside of them, you just
those
see
are
all that
look.
scum in there.
I've sold some of those or had some of those Seikos with the silicone straps, and even when you dump them in water and like
It's
try to
hard.
clean them off, it's hard to get that stuff out. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, there's some hairy looking pictures that hey, it's at least they're not doctored, right?
Right.
Uh, Joy B saying I've considered selling off my watches to buy a house made of solid gold dollhouse, but a dollhouse, but a house nonetheless. Deech is saying, I sold most of my G-Shock squares. They were important to me, pretty much as easy as selling until I got to my 35th anniversary one and couldn't let it go. And Easy Claim saying, watch collectors sometimes consolidate as taste change. No big deal. Of course, saying it that way does not drive YouTube views. All hail the algorithm. Wolfie, I know you don't sell, and I know you don't consolidate down, but and you have some awesome pieces. Would would you ever, whether you have a watch in mind or not, could you ever see yourself at not necessarily burning down the whole thing, right? Because you do have a good amount of watches, but I mean, like, but maybe consolidating or selling like a quarter of your collection to fund a piece that you would really want. Would you be open to that possibility at any time?
Yeah, I mean, could happen in the future, I guess. At this point, if I would have to bet, I'd say it won't happen because I'm kind of shying away from super expensive stuff more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, of course, some of my favorites are the expensive. The
Yeah,
over 100K.
yeah,
Ask me what's my favorite 5 watches that I ever seen. It's probably all of them are over 100K.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
don't own
right,
any. That's
right.
probably my answer. But to ever kind of get them,
Mm.
I'm not sure. It's for one
Like if
watch.
you like no money's coming out of your pocket at this point, right? Like you have the equity in your watches, let's say.
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Hmm.
That I could
Yeah.
trade into
Yeah.
I could trade into 100K, whatever.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
If I'm kind of, if I ever feel like I'm getting out of the hobby, or other reasons, I probably, at this point, I probably just sell them.
Mm.
And I don't know if I feel that any watch really to me is worth 100K. It's not. We talked about it before. It's how much enjoyment does it bring over
Yeah.
the Moser that Clayton has.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that type of, that what's it called,
Concept dial.
the concept dial,
Yeah.
and that type of
Mm.
dial. I love that watch, and so he bought it for 15. Even if you buy it for new with a little discount, let's say you buy it for a little over 20, it's a great watch. Is $100,000 watch, that much more
Mm.
worth to me? I could get 5 of those. And even if I'm consolidating, I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe, I mean, who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I get in a few years, maybe
Yeah.
I'll look at things differently.
Yeah.
Don't think at this point it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. But you're not saying never say never, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
yeah.
What do I
It's,
know?
it,
What I
it,
want to do in a few
yeah,
years?
it's unlikely to happen, but it's you're not never
Yeah.
ruling it out, and that's actually fair enough. I mean, like, you never know when you're gonna fall in love if you ever fall in love, right? I mean, like it
I
just
mean, like I said, when I saw Rick get Romain Gauthier,
yeah,
uh, before he got it, I saw the video.
yeah,
I saw it
yeah,
on Tim's
hmm
stream. Like, it came up in one of the weekend shows, and I'm thinking, like, my God, this got to be the coolest, best looking watch ever.
yeah,
It's like, my a tradition, is one of my favorites, and this
yeah.
is like the type of
I know.
look, like the
Yep.
highest of high
Hmm.
end tradition,
Hmm.
all the action in the front. So I
Yeah,
thought, like, oh my God, I should get it.
yeah,
I should trade or whatever.
yeah.
Then I kind of say, oh my God, it's. But I get the urge
Hmm.
sometimes, and then kind of like the more rational of my thinking sets in, where I start, is it worth it?
Yeah,
So far I said no.
yeah, yeah. But the possibility always remains there for
Yeah.
you. Uh, Caliber saying, "Congrats on pulling that off,
Oh,
Clayton."
thank you. Thank you very much.
Kevin saying, Bruce is Philip Pope. And Detroit Spartan says, if you make me watch another BW video, I will burn down everything. Okay, guys. All right. Wait until that gold scratches. BW gonna cry. Michael B. Burned down for a sub. No regrets. So, I mean, that's an interesting comment because I basically, when I picked up the sub September of 2021, 2021, I pretty much was burning down my collection um, before and slightly after to help, pay for the sub. But I still had some watches remaining. So I had my Girard Perregaux and my Panerai, two watches that are never just never going to leave my collection. I can't. I mean, I've had them for so long. Like I just can't. I mean, like, why get rid of them, right? Why? I mean, there's no reason to get rid of them, right? It's not. I mean, like, that money has been spent so long ago. You know what I mean? So, and so I had sold, and I don't remember if it was before or after. I think it might have been before the my Black Bay 58, which for me, when I got back into the hobby, was one of my biggest watch purchases that I made.
You had the
I,
black and the blue, did you not?
I did have
Yeah.
the black and the blue, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had that. I got rid of that. I got rid of the Zin U50, which is another watch that I really really liked. So the 58, the Black 58, the U50, and a bunch of other watches I started selling in anticipation of picking up a sub. And what I had remaining, so was the GP and the PAM, right? Which are over here and out of sight, out of mind. They're in my collection box, and I see them. And the sub and the Kadoki. I had a Kadoki, the Kadoki 2, the salmon dial. And so I pretty much took everything down to get that sub. Now, I feel like I've done this several times in my watch collecting career. Nothing reaching out for the extent that, for a gold day date. Um, but I've done it. So, like, it took me a while to realize. Wait a second. I when after I saw this video, I'm like, what is this guy doing? I'm like, oh, I do the same thing every year or so. But now with so many things that are going on in my life personally, good things. Watches are not, or spending money on watches is not the focus, and so I'm just going to flatline for a little while, and then possibly, if there's something that that's epic down the road. I mean, the good thing about this guy, I mean, and I do love it, is that it's like there's money here, right? You know what I mean? There's this has this doesn't it's not losing its value, right? It's a good place to store money, and so, like, if I see, like, something that's epic, this may go. I hope to keep this forever, but never say never. Let's keep on going on here. Wolfie would just buy the Grail watch and not burn anything down. So, Wolfie. Caliber, short answer, no. If I only had a pile of crappy watches and not one good watch, yes. I would sell them to get one good one, like a Zen or Omega or Tudor. Rob Mountain Center Time said, I just sold 3 watches I didn't wear. Money will go towards another watch to be determined. Joey B, I don't have any desire to own an expensive watch over 10K. I'd rather just sell it all and wear one Omega or the Zulu, the Longines Zulu. Intern here, I sold 17 Invictas. Was able to get a Christopher Ward out of it. Wow, intern. You might need to leave to find a job that pays you. For
Jeff
some reason,
McMahon sold his 55 Invictus.
that's right. June Johnson has a hard time watching. Okay, I'll take dibs on Wolfie's SNR once he burns it all down. Okay, so you have a buyer for your SNR, Wolfie. Steve is saying, I might trade or sell multiple watches for a single watch, but I would not burn it down for one or two. Okay. Navy Monster, no way. No way he wouldn't burn it down for one watch. Hey, Chris is here. What's going on? He's wearing his Black Bay 58 tonight. Been busting hood recharge.
Bruce has always talked about wanting a solid gold watch, so
Hmm.
he felt like, that was the way to make it happen. And there's always more why. I think that's definitely his attitude, like the
Yeah.
way he's gone through. I mean, he flipped his overseas for God's sake.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, that was the thing. That was like another watch of his that was it was Grail, right?
Yeah.
And then he got it, and then yeah.
If I had to bet, I see this one lasting about as long as that did. But
Okay.
hopefully he keeps it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So, and this is for the chat as well, and for Wolfie. Year and a half, 18 months, over or under,
I'll take
Clayton.
the under on that.
Oh, you'll take the under.
Yeah.
What about you? And what's your thinking, Clayton? Just because of history, what do you?
I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm project. If I like the day date, I would have gone for a different one. I would go for like the was it the rose gold with the green dial?
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
That'd probably be the one I would go for. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not feeling it. Even though he's like over the moon with it right now, and he
Yeah.
dropped everything to get this solid gold watch. I don't know if it makes a year. I don't know.
Mm. What do you think, Wolfie? 18 months, over or under?
I haven't watched the guy in years.
Okay.
What I get from you guys is, and it's my theory. That guy's not even into watches anymore. He's more like a YouTuber that's right into his wave
Mm.
of
Okay.
fame. So it's gonna go fast to create
Yeah.
more content
Yeah,
and more.
that's it.
I sold my Grail
Mm.
because I discovered that 50 shitters are worth more than the Grail.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
That be
Yeah.
my guess.
So I'm gonna say under, right? But it could be over. I know. I know. It sounds like I'm giving two answers. My answer is under. I'm saying the only reason why it could go over is that whatever money he has left, whatever that he has left, he says he has some money to buy some pieces. Only if only um, he gets a couple more pieces and he stays within like 4 or 5 watches in his collection. He doesn't go more than that, right? Um, I think he's going to find it a hard time to wear that watch out because there's no hiding it, right?
Right.
And so I
And
know
it's
he
gonna be his
lives.
daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting. So that we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
Um, I just and look, I think he lives in Utah. I'm guessing Utah is pretty safe. But there's always people. There's criminals everywhere, you know. So maybe he feels safe walking around as his daily that, and not just like for a crime perspective, but like maybe like you just don't want. I mean, I don't know if I'd want that kind of. I don't know if I want that kind of image though. I don't know if I want people to think of me as like, oh, this guy, this guy's got a lot of dough, or like I'd rather be more stealth about it. That's why I like that platinum day date. Like if I was going to do that, I'd go platinum day date. And I know that's a hard watch to get, and it's expensive.
That's why I love this
Uh,
white gold Moser too. Just
yeah,
totally under the radar.
yeah, absolutely. Or if you're going to do like if I'm going to do yellow, I probably would most likely do rose gold. That I like rose gold better than yellow gold, and I would do something with like a strap or a leather
Yeah.
strap or rubber strap, like a leather, like Wolfie, like your glass suit, panel reserve, like it's rose gold, black dial, but with a leather strap. So it's kind of like a little dressy. It's a little subdued. You know what I mean? It's not like in your face, right? So I'm saying under, but the only way he does it over is that he finds some other watches that he can wear a little bit more often and just like appreciate having that data in the collection for what it is. It's not going to be a daily wear like he thinks it's going to be. Don't get, don't get anxious like I do if I'm not wearing it. I mean, like it's a special watch. Treat it that way. AZ Clayton, from one Clayton to another, congrats on the Funky Blue
Thank you,
Moser. I
sir.
enjoy
Thank
mine.
you. Thank you, Clayton.
Bobby burns it down on a quarterly basis. Symphony for the Bezel is saying that sold sub to help fund Florida prepay for my 3-year-old. LOL. I'm down to my Explorer 124 270 and 2 G Shocks. Hey, listen, sometimes you have to like
Yep.
sell pieces to fund other things. Like, we have some stuff, construction maybe happening in the house at some point, and it's a possibility that I may have to sell a watch or two just to help fund it. Easy probably with a Submariner. Okay, I know. Paul saying I'm all about mid-tier watches, the stuff that was in my road and tracks. I think Paul's trying to say, and seen in the F1 paddock. Um, James saying I only have 4 keepers. Probably wouldn't be difficult burning the rest if the right watch comes along. Again, Chaz is saying under. Justin saying under. Michael saying under. Under by half. I would set the line at 6 months. I see. I don't think he could do. I, I think out of spite, he would hold it on for at least 6 months. You know what I mean, or at least a
I
year,
would
right?
not be shocked if he gets rid of it in under 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just not. I don't know. I guess I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling that watch, so maybe I'm just projecting that he's not feeling it. But
Yeah. I mean, like, I mean, if that's the case, man, he better get some money out of it. Like, he might as well, he better flip it for a profit, right? Um, but I mean, he's so public about it, right? So
yeah,
like, does that like ruin his potential? Like, if he got rid of it, like his relationship with his AD who got that watch for
he
him.
was
I
very
mean,
public about the. I remember
PC,
when he
yeah,
bought the overseas, he filmed
yeah,
himself
yeah, yeah.
going into the store and
Oh yeah,
everything, and then he very publicly flipped it too. And I assume he ruined that relationship. So I
yeah.
don't know.
I think he did. I think he did. Maybe Blue Months are over. He's been talking about the day for years. Okay, we have an under here.
He has
Day
been.
date, day date just isn't the watch for Bruce. Okay. Um, Justin saying, can't believe you traded your intern wages for a C Ward. The intern getting some heat. Kevin S. less than 18 months. Um, under BW needs the content. James is saying, I want to say under 18 months. It will depend on how many more videos he makes justifying the move. Um, he's going to keep it forever. It's going to be one. It's going to be one for his daughters, right? Uh, yeah, he lives in Utah. Not sure it's under threat. Yeah, I would imagine. Um, let's see here. Solid gold Rolex might be in poor taste at church. Hey, yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, I think he's very religious. Um, that's what I'm saying. Like, you go to these places with unless you go to church and everybody has a day date. Kevin is saying I might just go to Utah and jump him. I wouldn't steal the watch, but just as good to punch. And oh my, jeez, guys, come on. I mean, um, it's a little rough today. Um, Detroit Spartan saying, I wear mine daily, but I have a full-time driver protection. Wilson. Oh, so that's what Wilson's job. I've been trying to figure out what Wilson does all day. So he's your driver. Okay. All right. Deech is saying, I sold an IWC for a second floor bath in a house I don't even live in. We do what we have to do. In some cases, too thick. Sorry. It's a Deech
Hey,
catchphrase, too thick.
hey,
He stuck it in there and he got me. Uh, okay. Spartan, yes, sir. I'll never sell mine. Love seeing others enjoy it as well. Such a special watch. Congrats. But okay. Um, yeah, Deech's ongoing war against thick watches is hilarious. Paul's saying a permanent grail is bad for ratings. I'll wait to see the next one. But look, he's got over 100,000 subs. If he wanted watches he doesn't have to buy them anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like like even with my small channel, I have such a great group of guys and gals who are very supportive, who send me their watches in for review. And I'm sure if I asked, some of these people that they would send the one. So like I don't know. I don't buy necessarily this argument that he's going to get rid of this watch once he gets enough out of it in YouTube and making videos. I just don't see that happening. He'll get rid of it for because of other reasons,
I
not
think he
that one.
wants it. Like somebody said,
Hmm.
he'd been talking about it for a long time. I don't know. I didn't feel the passion in this video about this watch for some reason. I just wasn't buying it for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. Well, so okay, so I think we talked about it long
I have
enough,
a
right?
question for Clayton. I'm curious what Clayton, what's the plan now? You kind of got a
Mm.
two core collection and some beaters you can wear every day, but
Yep.
what's going on?
So I'm on. So I was on the list for a Milgauss, and that obviously didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I talked to my authorized dealer, and the day it came out, she pretty much, said she put me down for one of the titanium Yachtmaster. So she said 18 months probably. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the plan. Save for that. We have some other expenses too. So satisfy the need for a purchase here and there, and maybe just hold out as long as I feel like it. If I feel like it's just never going to happen, I'll just say, cancel it or whatever. But that's the thought right now. And just wear the Air King and the Moser, you know, kind of
Yeah.
alternate or, yeah.
So what would satisfy what will give you that fix? Because I feel like your tastes are pretty out there. Like not that it's out there, but it's unpredictable. You know, like I see like that Fortis, right? The Casquette, like like watches that not they're not for everybody, but you seem to be attracted to these.
Yeah, I don't know what would satisfy. It'd probably be something. I have to be ready if that call comes, when that call
Mm,
comes. And that's not an inexpensive watch.
yeah.
So that's enough pressure to it's sort of like paying for like a marathon, because then you kind of have to do it because you paid for it. So that's kind of the thing. Like she did the same thing with the Air King, kind of guaranteed that it would happen. She couldn't guarantee when it was going to happen, but she
Yeah,
guaranteed
yeah,
it would
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
So I have to be ready for that. So there's a little like pressure there to just kind of take it easy and maybe buy a weird like $200 watch instead of a weird $5,000 watch if I feel the need.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin saying, just cash it all in and get a two-tone DG and declare yourself an old man. It is destiny. That sounds more and more appealing the older and older I get. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I'm not putting Bruce Willis down. Nice guy, but he has a TV show and runs it like one. That's all. All right. You guys are crazy. Random Robin Slain. Okay. You guys, if you pay him, he will come. Okay. I think that's about something else. Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting times, right? Because the watch prices uh, in most cases seem to be coming down, right, or coming down to reality. And so I feel like there's so many more options now available in a time where like I am more disinterested in in watches than I have been in a while. It's a cyclical thing. It happens to me every once in a while. Like I hang on to something else that interests me. Like right now, it's like stuff for the house, or if it's like coins or whatever like that. Like I go through that phase, but like now it's just like okay, like I feel like I'm at a point where I could hold off on stuff. Now I stopped by a Rolex dealer a couple of weeks ago, and he basically told me the same thing. Don't know when I can get it for you, but I can get it for you. And so, and that was for the Batman. So, like, we'll see what happens. So, like, I'm happy to sit where I am right now. And look, that could change tomorrow. But I'm really, really
Yeah.
happy where I am right now, and just take it slow. Something that Bruce said in the video that resonates with me, and it's always resonated with me, is that he wants to make meaningful purchases, watches that are going to stay in his collection, not just for a few months or a year. watches that are gonna stay for a long time. Now I feel the same way. I want to do that, but then I go in and buy like five Seikos in a month. You know what I mean? And then I sell them all, and I've sold like
Yeah.
half of them. So I just keep on going through this phase where it's just I don't know if it's just like a lack of willpower. Wolfie, like how do you do? Like you just like you don't have any restraints. You don't put any restraints on yourself. Not I'm not saying that you buy things like but you just like are so casual about it. Like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, still there's budget restrictions. Can't buy them all.
yeah, that's true. Good point here, Michael. Maybe the secondary market's coming down, but MSRP on new pieces are going up the roof.
Yeah.
Why is that? Like how? Like in this world economy conditions, right? We have interest rates going up. Um, we have, and hopefully that will peak and slow down. Inflation high still, slightly coming down. Um, how do brands justify these price increases? I mean, like, I know there's a lot of there's smarter people than me running these places, right? These shops. But Wolfie, you got a good beat on like the economy. You understand, like,
Ye-
like how do they justify this stuff?
Well, I mean, they like all of us. They have higher costs. You hear the rumors that they can't find watchmakers. They have to pay
Hmm.
them gigantic salaries. I'm sure they have higher labor costs in general. So I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying those are all smart people. I wouldn't be too sure about that. There's
Okay.
people running these corporations in my mind, as it is often the case. They don't know what's happening on the ground floor. They put out the numbers. They got the controller that says we got to improve profit margin, and
Mm,
no, no idea at the very top what's going on the sales floor in all the ads. I can see that happening. I wouldn't be surprised if they were totally clueless of how difficult it became this year, or
hmm.
I expect it to become way more difficult as we get to the summer and end
Yeah.
of this year, maybe into next year, because not only because of the price increase, but because we face higher costs on the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Interest
Yeah.
rates are higher. We don't have free money anymore,
Right.
and it's probably not coming back. So they could run into serious issues. It wouldn't surprise me, at least. I don't know what they're gonna do. You're gonna Can they reverse it? Can they say we're faced to lower the prices again by 20% to find the buyer? I don't know if maybe they will have to.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
problem for a luxury brand to do that,
Yeah.
perception wise. It's
Like the
What?
Ingenue coming out at $12,000. Like, was that just why so aggressive on the price? Is that just totally blowing it? Estimations of what people will pay, or is that because it's just
Yeah.
harder and harder to produce those watches, and you have to?
In that case, I don't believe it's cost, because basically, they have the Mark 20, similar, quick change,
Hmm.
great
Yeah,
bracelet, same movement. So I don't see any difference in cost, in production cost. I think they just thought, same thing. They thought, well, look at last year, the hype of the integrated bracelet pieces,
Yeah.
so great. We gotta come out with one, and we'll still be super cheap compared to some of the others. But we'll see if it works. I said recently, I think I give them 50-50. It could be a total bomb,
Yeah.
because a lot of people just say, "Are you crazy? This is not worth
yeah.
12." The
The
titanium,
watch is nice. The price is a bomb.
exactly. A lot of people
Right?
said,
Yeah.
they have a big problem with the price. We'll see if they have enough customers in the book. We'll probably know in 6 months. We'll
Yeah.
hear how, if they sell and what's going on. But
Do you,
I'm not sure that it's a success.
yeah. Do you think? Now I'm not. I'm giving these people the benefit of the doubt because when I say that they might be smart, they're smarter than me running these places, right? Could it be? And I understand that costs are up, right? And things may be harder to get with certain watches. Certainly, the entrepreneur, you made a good example why it's not really that's not the case. Do you think some of these brands they see some of these other brands? a lot of these expensive watches and brands creating a sense of exclusivity, right? With high prices, right? And so, do you think maybe these brands are saying we're going to take a shot here. We're going to make really expensive watches, maybe limit the production, not say how many we're making, and make it a sense like an exclusivity of, and people are going to want to buy them because they're so hard to get. Like, do you think there's some psychology? Maybe I don't have this worked out correctly what I'm saying, but like,
I,
is there some psychology to that?
I think you're spot on. I think they're trying to do exactly that.
Yep.
That they want to be Rolex and Patek and Journe and AP. That's their wet dream. That's what they all want to be.
Yeah. The problem is you got it. Rolex, Patek, and Journe, especially with Patek and AP, and they've built that reputation over decades, right? Rolex is very much a tool watch until the last like 20 years, right? Well, I mean, they still are, but like with this high end, like exclusivity, it's really a recent phenomenon compared to like some of these other brands. But
Not even exclusivity. I mean, you can't even. Nobody in his right mind can say Rolex is exclusivity anymore.
yeah,
There's more Rolex out there in the luxury world than all the
yeah,
other brands
yeah,
combined.
yeah.
So
Right.
it's not about exclusivity.
Hmm.
I don't. Of course, I can't. I don't have the foolproof explanation, but the quality was always there. The
Mm-hmm.
price is fair, and over time, they spent more on marketing than all the other brands combined.
Yeah.
All that together
They created that
made the
image.
demand increase. Then the pandemic hit. Everybody had money. Sitting at home, we want the Rolex, and then you can't get them. And that was kind of like that light lit the fire, and now everybody wanted it even more. And that's what the other brands are trying to achieve.
Yeah.
The engineer will be hard to get. So hopefully everybody's gonna want one. I don't
Right.
hear any of us wanting
Yeah.
one. It's because
Yeah.
it's supposedly hard to get.
Right.
So that's why I think that can backfire. The
Yeah.
Manga tried it. Tons of brands are trying to limit the access. You gotta buy pieces first,
Mm-hmm.
but see what happens. I mean, most Langer is discounted heavily on the secondary market, especially now because the retail price is so high. So I don't think it's working for them, or
Yeah.
it's gonna work for them.
Well, look at that Morgan Stanley report. Profits are at an all-time high, volumes at an all-time low. So it sounds like that's kind of the trend, right? Just make less watches, but make them super expensive.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we don't know. Maybe like you read some articles that they have they have in the pandemic they created a new buyer, basically. The people with money, young people coming into the crypto people, so you hear these stories that they got a lot of wealthy buyers that never looked at watches, but now they're sort of an asset class, so they want to, besides the art and whatever else they're buying and car stuff, they're buying watches now. Maybe that's true. We'll see. It's probably true in Journe. I don't know if it's going to be true in VC and Lange, and at least I haven't heard.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, tons of VC or Lange is considered with exceptions, an asset to hold for the long term. So, I have my doubts. We'll be smarter in a year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Carriage out production and material costs have jumped, and so they had to pass it on to the consumer. Deech is saying, I took a second job today to fund the Polar. Nice side hustle activated. Volume is down, and the addiction must be fed when the call comes. No posing, and it's not too thick. Probably some out of touch marketing people setting the price for that watch. I'm waiting for the used market on the engineer. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, like what we said, we'll wait a year and see what's happening with that. I'm waiting for a used market on the engineer. I'm sorry. Maybe they'll still owe money to Gerald Genta, just like the Mets and Bobby Bonilla.
could be.
Fed said the engineer is at best a 7. $1,000 watch. You might be right. Marcy saying long live Rolex. Swiss watch companies are turning the screws on us, Underachieving Watch Collector says. I think they saw the secondary market, Justin is saying, and why are these dudes paying so much more money than us, making so much more money than us? I think IWC could be doing what Seiko did and wanted to capture money they thought they were leaving on the table. Hey, Dibs here. What up? Sad people of the watch world. Oh, Dib. Okay. Just I don't get invited to the Jordan events, so I wouldn't know. Okay. All right. Maybe one day. Monday we. Well, guys. Great chat tonight. Great subject to talk about. And I love having these thought exercises about what we would do with our collection. It's always fun to do that. Chat, great job as always this evening, Clayton. Thank you so much
Thanks for
for
having me.
Maybe
answering
just
the call. Yeah,
a minute. Maybe we should pull up at least one watch. Maybe, just because it's a watch show.
you want to pull? Do you want to pull up? Did you
Well,
get something
maybe
today?
no, but maybe we should at least show one
New
new
release.
release or something.
Oh, were there any new releases?
I don't know.
See,
don't
that's
really
the
know
thing.
either.
I don't think there were any. That's why I wasn't pulling them up.
Okay, then
No, no.
Seiko must have released something. No.
Okay, Wolfie, fair enough, man. You're the man.
maybe we'll do it on Friday. Maybe there's another chance on Friday. We'll show.
I
we'll
hope
show.
so because coming up with these topics are not always easy. Let's see, Grunfeld is here. Let's see, Chapek and Antique.
That's new.
That's new. It's a nice little
Collective.
dot.
Those new G Shocks, the
Oh, is this the
40th
collective?
anniversary G Shock.
This is the collective. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
that is yeah, that's pretty cool. Super interesting. I assume that's titanium, right? 1 out of 50.
I think so.
Yeah, I think at first blush it's nice. I don't know if I could hang with this.
I like the other dials better.
Yeah. The case back is beautiful.
Mhm.
Still a good watch, but it's just the dial is. I like the other dials better.
Okay, it's stainless steel. 26.5. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of quiet, right? It's not that much.
Kind of quiet.
The is new.
This is new. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just Breguet's such a great brand. Oh, this is leap year here, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
And then you have the day there's a week, the date, the date.
Yeah,
Is this
everything.
Power Reserve?
Got everything on that one.
Yep. You're covered.
Oh, man, I mean, servicing this must be really,
Yeah, and the
really interesting, right?
price is not that cheap either.
Let's get a case back shot of this. Anything case back? Okay.
What's a
That's
warranty
not
Breguet
bad.
offers on their watches?
Wolfie, do you know?
I'm not 100% sure. I mean, no.
It's Swatch, right? Swatch Group?
Swatch,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. I know Omega is 5 years, right? Longines is 5 years. I don't know if the higher end, if they're still at 2, I don't know. Either 2 or 5. Could be 2 still, which is weak.
Yeah. Especially on a watch like that.
Yeah.
Wolfie, do you want to talk about the new Laurier Astra that
Uh,
was announced yesterday?
The
We
lume is
will.
cool. The lume's cool on it.
we'll talk
Yeah.
about it, but Keith has to make a promise in the chat right now that he's gonna buy it then.
Did he even make? Let's just take a look at it. Laurier Astra. Let's get Wolfie's hot take on this.
The lumen's interesting.
Okay, like a little sector dial kind of going on there. Looks like.
See if you can
I
get
mean,
the
look.
nighttime shot. They
Oh,
have it
I don't
on
know
there, I
where I
think.
saw that one. Yeah, AJ loves that one.
There it is.
I mean, see, look, I mean, stylistically, I mean, they're good looking watches. I mean, I know they take a lot, right, from a lot of influences, right? I've owned one. I would say, and it was the Gemini, which was a chronograph and it had that seagull movement. It, I mean, I struggle with saying that it felt cheap because the watch was like a $400 $500 watch, so which is still a lot of money, but it's not surprising. Like I just like it's the same way when when I hold a Baltic in hand. It's just like it just doesn't feel substantial enough, right? Feels kind of a flimsy.
Yeah, you can take it off. Keith said he can't promise anything, so you can take it off
Oh,
now.
oh, okay, okay, Keith, you got it, Wolfie. Um,
Yeah, that's been about it, right? It's been slow after Watches and Wonders.
Yeah.
Not much going on.
you,
Well,
you,
I mean, you did good. We showed some watches, so we did fine.
hold on, no, 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 no. Now we got. You said there was a new there was a 35th anniversary.
40th,
Uh,
yeah, that
or-
one. Well, there's the middle one. There is but people are upset because it's
oh,
$300 and
right,
no solar, no
no solar.
multi-band six. I
Yeah,
like those. They're collectors' watches, so I mean, no one's gonna. How many people are actually going to wear them like G-Shocks anyway?
right, right. And then somebody said, I think it was Marcy that said that Seiko came out with some 38 millimeters today. I don't know if I would find it here on the Seiko USA site. Um, Anywho, oh, Penny's here. How you doing? I would rather blow up my collection for one watch and never buy another. Not sure that watch is not sure what that watch is though. I think Penny is looking for an end game watch then, right? Like she just wants to get out of the hobby because I feel, I mean, like the addiction.
She has a
It's a shit
Pepsi
of.
now, so she can just rest easy for a
Oh
bit.
yeah, for a while. Um, it was what's this now? It was worse than when Bobby talks about Oris. Okay. Um, you guys ever talk about the Awake mission to Earth? Does anybody
I
know what that one's like?
I
no.
don't know.
Yeah. Good luck with the Seiko Spirit garbage.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
rough website. I just look at an authorized dealer website to find out about Seiko or Instagram.
Slow watch news. Can we talk more about it? No, come on, Chaz. Come on. I mean, we could talk more about Dib. Um, but then, hey, Wolfie, did you notice? I mean, I don't know if you're on IG. Um,
Yeah.
okay. Did you notice that Dib did a wrist roll of his
Yeah.
essence with
Of
the
with
Grand
what?
Canyon?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's nice. He never shares his pictures with us anymore, though. But he'll go on Instagram. You know.
It was a little. I confronted him about it. The behavior is a little hurtful too. I can take it, but I know some of our members are a little hurt. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
So I think
Well,
he'll apologize soon, and he'll try to get to do better.
yeah. He, just like even if he just shows a little more effort. A little bit more. Um, like he's a little more apologetic. I want to get a little. I want an apology. You know what I mean? I think that's what it comes down to. I just want an apology. I want a
Yeah,
heartfelt apology from him.
yeah. I think it's coming. Yeah, probably.
Dib on a road tree with Beans. He saves a hot picture for Beans. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I mean, I know he's got like other interests in other groups that he likes to talk watches with, and we might not be up high on the totem pole. We might be lower, but I don't know. And I feel like he's like, I feel like he's like our mascot, and it hurts like when he has a wandering eye when it comes
Yeah.
to his watch friends. So.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'll see him for lunch tomorrow.
yeah, have a little talk with him.
Then
Maybe that's
yeah,
what he needs, like in person.
yeah, we'll be very friendly for at lunch. Then I don't know what's happening later. It's he does something hurtful again tomorrow. We know he's bringing the mayor.
Yeah, he's
So
got something for. I wish he was here tonight. I wish you guys were together so we could do this live.
by Friday, I think I'll have another mayor. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'll still be friends with Dib at that point, but we'll see.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, let's call it a night. I want you to turn in early so you have some great time with Dip tomorrow and get that John Mayer in hand. Again, Clean, awesome. Thank you so much. Clean
Thank
has
you.
the Watchdog podcast, and he's also my co-host at Watch Soup. So we'll see you on Sunday.
Yes. Yes,
And
sir.
Wolfie, you'll still be around this week, right? So
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah, we'll be here
hopefully we'll
for
see you
a
on
little
Friday
bit.
night, and we'll have some new releases for you.
Friday night I can't be here, but
Uh,
I'll be back soon.
okay, all right. Well, maybe I'm gonna have to have a talk with you. You know. Anyway, guys, have a good evening, and we'll see you on Friday. Take care.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Thank you.